Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I have a confession to make. So every day at work, I go for walks around my building. I work in an old converted mall, so basically, I'm a mall walker. But one day, I was walking and always by one of these businesses, there's always one lone ant just trying to find its way. So I always pick them up and bring them outside because I want them to have a chance in life, right? Like, it made me sad to just think of this poor little ant wandering around with no friends and no food. And I've done this several times, and I ran into a coworker once and I was like, don't judge me, I'm just saving this little old ant. But I just wanted the little guy or girl to have a fighting chance in life. Did you guys know you could tell an ant's gender by putting it in a glass of water? If it sinks, girl ant. If it floats, boy ant. Get it? Buoyant. I know it's corny, sorry. So, all joking aside, there is a point to this story. I came home the other day and my kitchen was full of ants. They were coming in, it looked like underneath a cabinet, and they were headed right towards the cat food. And of course, your first thought is annihilate them all, because nobody wants ants in their house. But I didn't want to harm them, and I also did not want to spray any harsh chemicals, especially because it was around my cat food. So I did my research, and I came up with 5 easy ways you can do to get rid of ants in your house. Tip number 1, ants do not like the smell of citrus. So what you can do is take some dried orange peels and place them around the areas that the ants are getting in. I happen to have some already that I was drying and using for another project, which will be another video coming soon. So I placed them around the area in my garage where I think they might be getting into. Tip number 2, ants do not like the taste of cucumbers. So if you take a couple of cucumber slices and place them right where the ants are getting in, that will deter them from even entering your home. I didn't go with this option because I have a cat who happens to like vegetables. So I thought I might as well not go with that option and go with something else. If you do this though, don't leave the cucumber slices out for too long. 1, because they'll dry up and then it won't have the same effect on the ants. And 2, you don't want to attract any other sort of pests like cockroaches. Gross. Now, I know it might seem counteractive to leave food out when you're trying to get rid of ants, since finding food is their primary mission in life, but they're just not attracted to these foods, so they're not going to come looking for them. Tip number 3 is peppermint oils. If you have some peppermint essential oils in your house, or even lemon, what you can do is dab them on a cotton ball and place them near the entry where the ants are getting in. This throws off their smell, so they can't detect where food is actually going, and it kind of confuses them in a way. So that's one way to deter them. Tip number 4 is coffee grounds. If you're like any warm-blooded American that I know, you drink coffee on a regular basis. So what you can do is take those grounds and maybe add a little peppermint oil to them for an added boost, and you can sprinkle them around outside in your gardens and in your yard where you think ants might be coming in. You would need a lot of grounds for this, so that is one thing to think about when you're using this option. Tip number 5 is equal parts of vinegar and water in a spray bottle. If you spray around the area that the ants are coming in, it's not going to harm the ants, but it also is not going to invite them in. So there you have it. That's my 5 tips for naturally getting rid of ants with no chemicals. And as an added bonus, all of these methods are safe for pets and animals as well. And you probably didn't have to make a trip to the grocery store because it's likely that you have 1 or more of these ingredients right in your home. Now, besides the fact that you're not using any harsh chemicals in your home, you're also not doing any harm to the ants. And I know ants are pests and nobody wants them in their home, but ants are actually good for the environment. And think about it. Where would anteaters be without ants? And one more joke for you. Why do anteaters never get sick? Because they're full of antibodies. Get it? Antibodies. I know, it's really stupid. But not to mention the anteaters, there's several other animals that actually eat and depend on ants as part of their diet. They're also good for controlling the termite population, and they also feast on decaying things, which in turn returns it back into the soil, so it's actually good for the soil too. So the next time you think you see ants and you want to annihilate them, think about these 5 easy natural tips first before you pull out your chemicals. So I hope you enjoyed these tips, and I hope that you decide to use them next time you find yourself with an ant problem. Thank you for taking this journey with me, and I'll see you next time. Okay, one more joke. Do you know why ants always smell great? Because they use deodorant. And if they're smart, they use natural homemade deodorant. Tip number 2. Ants do not like the taste of Tip number 2. Ants do not like the taste of cucumbers. So, if you place the